Forged in the lockdown. Hello and welcome to Critical Questions, the Unfathomable quiz. I should have practiced that first. I've trawled the internet for the best, worst, most interesting and ridiculous dumb questions I can find. And with any luck, my guests will be able to answer all of them.
Dave, you won't have to remember that line for too long. We'll be back in lockdown before you know it.
We're still kind of in, I don't know what the fuck you call what we do here, but we're still kind of in lockdown. My kid's not going to school or anything.
I think it's more like bondage.
Bondage is more fun.
Well, what we get up to off stream is, stays between us, all right? So
we have pictures.
Oh, fuck me.
Today we've got Amanda with us. She'll share pictures later if you're lucky.
Shut up, Dave.
Hi, Amanda.
You see, all my guests today are very new. You've got Godless Scummer.
hello. Ahoy.
We've got Jenni Morgan. We've got Nerdy Rodent.
Ahoy.
Ahoy. We've got MathPig.
Oink.
And we do actually have Amanda. She hasn't named his mum
Technically today we got Godless Rodent and just Scummer without the Godless, so something's going on.
Are you trying to tell us that you have found God?
Congratulations.
Yeah,
he's lurking out back somewhere.
He's in the chat.
He is in the chat. Yeah.
he is in the chat. Thank God.
He's got 22. We know he's real. He's got 22 Twitter accounts to prove it.
It's true.
To be fair, his followers have got 100,000.
But if you're God and are omnipotent, why would you need more than one?
Dave.
Yeah.
What?
Dave.
What?
This took way too fucking long, dude.
Say again?
I said this took way too fucking long, dude.
What did?
We missed you.
No, you didn't. You were all happy I wasn't here.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Yeah, remind us, what exactly do we do on this show again? It's been so long.
No idea.
Did we actually fucking know what it was last time or not? I don't remember.
He asks
No one ever
questions.
worked it
We talk smart.
Yes. Should we do some questions?
We try to convince people that we know what the fuck we're talking about.
No, we don't.
Indeed.
No, we
don't.
There was a key word in there.
Okay,
Try. Try was the key
I
word.
think we're pretty convincing sometimes.
I'm not convinced.
Well, I spent our time studying infectious diseases and pustules, so I'm all ready.
Which means you're not allowed to talk about them because we are not allowed to be educational.
Mm.
Oh no, these were comedy books.
Right. Should we do a question?
Anyone's interested, I read an awesome book about spiders recently. Dave, do you want to hear about all that?
No, it's okay. MathPig's gone and got himself a fucking pet one.
Oh, I know, and
cool.
He keeps trying to show me, and I'm like, that's good. I'm good, honey. I'm good. Thanks.
Well, you got tarantula.
I got a big old orb spider living in my shower. I met him this morning.
You get naked in front of a spider?
Well, I did. He was up high enough he wouldn't get wet.
I wouldn't get naked in front of a spider. I wouldn't get naked in the same house as a spider.
I don't think a spider perceives nakedness. It's just
Dave, there's a spider in your house somewhere. It's just the law of probabilities there.
I can imagine that there aren't. I can be as delusional as the rest of the population.
Okay.
You do forget a lot, so.
Ricardo says they're coming for sex. Great. That's all I need to know. One ran across the floor a few days ago. That freaked me out. I didn't sleep. It was huge. I mean, it was at least that big.
That is not huge.
That's not a spider. That's a fucking ant. It's like that big, It's like, that's a fucking ant, Dave.
Crawl out from under my bed. Little furry and shit. Fuck off.
Do you have scorpions where you live, Amanda?
Not now, but I did when I lived in Tucson, and the worst ones were the bark scorpions. They were teeny tiny, and they were
little ones are the
tan in
worst.
color, and so was our carpet. So I stepped on one once, and it was incredibly fucking painful. That was bad.
But they're not going to kill you because they're so tiny.
They're the most venomous in that area, but they don't usually kill you. They'll kill pets pretty easily.
I thought it was the small scorpions you had to watch out for.
Yeah, that's why those ones are more venomous than the big black ones. Are ugly and gross.
I thought size didn't matter.
I heard they eat scorpions in some parts of the world.
Yeah.
Lone Wanderer says you've not lived until mice. You've not lived until mice have crawled over you while you're sleeping.
That's horrifying. Where the fuck have you lived where that's happened?
Nerdy, do your rodents live free?
Yeah, they like to walk all over people, and they'll wake you up in the morning quite happily, stamp on your face and say, "Hey, it's feeding time." It's great, yeah.
What, the cats or your mice?
No.
Lucy, who do you think it is? And just ignore the annoying Kistra girl. Kystra, however you say it. That's my daughter again. I don't know why she keeps turning up. Makes it very awkward. Right. Should we do a question?
A question? Really?
Question, yes.
Oh.
I'm just slightly worried about who Lucy is shouting at. I have this terrible feeling it might be Nerdy. Did Jenny just fall off the bed?
I have no idea.
I don't think I did.
Oh, okay.
Very dark.
Yes, she was shouting about Nerdy.
It's too early to have another bouncy ball type moment already in this seat.
Fucking like 9, almost 10 o'clock for you. Too early.
I mean, in the season, it's something we got to build up to.
Okay.
So like,
okay, I got you. What's the question?
Wait there. What time are you getting up tomorrow?
What?
Me,
Jeff. Yeah.
Me, 8 o'clock. I'm not getting up early like I normally do. If I was getting up at like 4:30 like I normally do, I probably wouldn't be doing this, to be honest, sir.
Right. In which case, the first question. Question 1100. What is your favourite finger? You two are symmetrical.
You knew that was Manda. That was so fucking perfectly timed as well.
Sorry. Come on.
You think you're funny, don't you?
For me, Dave?
What?
Was that the one for me?
No, that wasn't the one for you. You know what the one for you is going to be about.
Okay. Is it really? Okay, I was right.
Why do you think I pissed myself laughing? Nerdy.
Good lord. You're not meant to come to me first. I'm going to go straight in there with a finger of fudge because it's just enough to give yourself a treat.
That's what I was going to say.
I stole.
You mean like the Cadbury's fudge things, like the little.
Can you sing it, Nerdy?
Can I sing it? Yeah.
Finger of fudge is just enough to give yourself a treat.
Fucking it.
Is that... No, it was something like that. Anyway, I can't remember the words, but yeah, they probably still sell them.
They do. They're lovely. Lone Wanderer says a chocolate finger or finger sandwiches or fingering.
Yeah, I mean, fingering was going to be my second one, but I couldn't figure out how to say that in a funny way.
Jenny.
That's exactly how I felt when he asked me.
I don't know if I can answer.
You don't know if you can answer. You don't have a favourite finger. Oh.
Well, sure, we all do.
which one's yours?
Well, the one that's properly inserted.
Fair enough. MathPig.
I've one that probably gets more attention than the others because I have a small welt on it I'm forever picking at, but I'm quite fond of the Cadbury's chocolate fingers.
Why are you
nice,
shocked by
actually.
that? you always
need to answer. That's all.
Jeff, other than your middle finger.
What? Me and Manda not allowed to have the same answer here then?
She's not allowed middle finger either.
Oh, fuck off!
It's like Quiplash. When you give the exact same answer, the answer gets disqualified.
Can I have 2 fingers?
God damn it!
2 fingers is never enough.
Jesus Christ, Dave.
And 5 is too many.
It's all gone a bit ghosty really quickly.
You're a Kit Kat man, are you, Dave? You like 4 fingers?
4 fingers is just right for a break. Do they have Kit Kat in the States?
Oh yeah, they got Kit Kat in America.
Absolutely, they do.
I forget who makes it over there though. It's not Nestle.
Hershey's probably.
No, Nestle makes it.
Oh, it's Nestle do make it today.
God says, my middle finger at Lucy while she waves when I drive past her. They're having a spat.
Yeah, apparently so.
Manda!
That's my fucking answer. I'm not changing it.
You're not changing it. Bye.
Clearly, that is my answer.
Nerdy, dance us a little.
I thought you might say a certain Game of Thrones character, Amanda.
Okay, yeah, I'll go with that. We'll go with Littlefinger. It's my favorite finger because he's smart.
Who's
and
that?
an asshole like
Who's
me.
that?
And that's
Who is
the
that?
character from Game of Thrones.
The character from Game of Thrones. I'm not likely to know.
Dave?
Yes.
Answer the
Lone
question.
Wanderer says 5 is fisting, not fingering.
Fuck off!
Oh, God, who said that?
And Yandir says little finger.
Well, 5 is 2 hands, isn't it? Unless you're counting the thumb.
Well, you're counting the thumb, aren't you?
Oh, all right.
Within the context of this, I think we can have a thumb as a finger.
Your thumb is a finger. All right. Okay. Let me just rewrite the entirety of the history of
So,
it.
so we might as well just change it
is
to all
not a
appendages then, really.
The thumb is or is not a finger.
It's a hand digit.
And how define finger?
When you're
Jenny,
really, really
every
lucky
fucking
and you really
time.
like someone.
It's the first question. It's the first fucking question.
Should we do the next question? Just for Amanda.
No.
Yes, yeah, as soon as
Fuck
you
you
answer,
and
Dave,
answer
yeah,
the
we'll do the next
question,
question.
I'm sorry.
Answer the question, Dave.
My answer was a finger of fudge.
You can't have my answer. We've already established
I
this.
can sing the next line of the song.
Peter.
I'm up for the next part of the song. Yeah.
Finger of fudge is just enough until it's done. No, I've forgotten it. Shit. I did have it, then you screwed me. I can't think of anything else finger related. I can think of a lot of things finger related, none of which are appropriate.
I can't believe you've moved to the evenings, and now he's worried about being too, being PC. You know.
Apparently, I'm not allowed. And apparently, it's the first question.
Question 1101. What's your favourite flavour of lube? No.
Harmonica Man says, "You know who else likes a good fisting? Sock puppets."
Finger mouse, there's one.
Mm.
How did this survive? Never mind. What?
I
Do
feel
you want the
worried.
next question or not?
Oh,
Have we
go
spent
on,
long
then.
enough on this one? Or
Oh, I've no idea. I stopped track. I meant to keep track of that. What time is it? 20
Well,
minutes in and we've managed one question. Yeah. We've
that
spent
all
too
right?
long on it.
yeah, okay, all right, yeah. Next question, Dave. Come on.
Right. Question 1101. If you discovered that Muppets were real, which one would make you most nervous?
Oh, Piggy, you've seen that fucking karate chop of hers.
I'm just upset it went that way. Nervous. How upsetting.
Which way were you hoping for?
the way that Manda's expression details precisely, I think.
Do we count?
Dave really loves Muppets.
Do we
And I
count?
can prove it too because I have a little clip of him saying it. So
Is Snuffleupagus a Muppet?
He would count.
yeah, technically.
Hang on, if thumbs of fingers are Fraggles Muppets,
Then Snuffleupagus would be the
Fraggles
one
and Muppets.
I'm most frightened of.
Is any
Because
is
too much-
every Jim Henson puppet technically a Muppet?
It would count for the context of this question.
I think I'd be
Oh.
concerned
So we could
about.
so technically we could say Yoda then, and it would count. You fell into that one, Dave. You fell into that one, Dave.
No. Suck a dick.
Jim Henson had
Deb.
nothing to do with it. He was already dead.
No.
Lone
I
Wanderer-
think that Animal is a problem.
Why?
Animal is a fucking psychopath, and if he becomes real, he's just going to be a serial killer. It's clear. So
We got Lone Wanderer
Yeah.
says the Swedish chef. Harmonica Man says see the previous comment. Chappie says Swedish chef. Spooky says the talking food Muppets. And Black Sofa says animal because he's so unpredictable you never know where you are. God says Gonzo is a bad person. Randy says Snuffy is the king of the Muppets. MathPig
No,
says Gonzo is an alien. And
See, I think
Snuffy's the
Go on.
dangerous one. Too much mass.
We know
not
any-
enough brain.
if we know any, I got to disagree. If we know anything about serial killers, it's the ones you least expect. So I would say it's going to be Kermit if anyone's going to be a serial killer out of the Muppets.
Kermit
It's
would be
always the
dick.
ones you least expect.
See, Gandia says Big Bird is scary to me. See, I think Big Bird is a dinosaur.
I think
Well,
Kermit
mean, it
just
could be a raptor.
belongs on a push cart. You know, that's-
God says don't trust Gonzo.
yeah.
Well, Jen, stop giving away secrets.
Jim Henson did the original Dark Crystal, didn't he?
Yes.
Yes.
Who's
Them big
Dr.
giant-
Teeth? Rainbug says Big Bird. Catnip says Babes. MathPig.
I literally just answered.
Did you?
Yes, I said, did he make the Dark Crystal? You
That
said
wasn't
yes.
an answer. That was a
And
I
then
thought
I
that was an
said-
answer. I thought that was a
And
question.
then I said the big giant birds from Dark Crystal.
Oh,
Fair
we
enough.
didn't hear that part because Dave was
My
talking.
apologies.
Sorry, honey.
Rainbug says Big Bird is not sustaining that mass on a diet of birdseed. You think Big Bird is eating people?
I think
Well,
he's
he's
at the very least dipped into the Cookie Monster stash.
he's part dinosaur.
I mean, would Cookie Monster not be a problem?
do you like?
No.
He's like,
He'd just be a fucking crackhead.
yes.
I think Cookie Monster is a
Apparently
little
that's scary.
sociopathic. He seems to think that everything belongs to him. He has problems,
He has problems.
issues, please, issues.
Nerdy.
Well, if we can go into the extended character set then, and places like Big Bird, I'm guessing the Count. I mean, I know he's normally just there
Wow.
counting things, but he is a vampire, so
2,
He would make me quite nervous around
3,
tea time. Yeah.
I think should be more worried about the ones that eat
4,
vegetables.
5.
God says the eagle that reads the news.
Oh,
Candia really doesn't like Big Bird. Big Bird is insane, apparently. Donut Head says Big Bird is a snuffleupagus parasitic bird eating all the smashed children snuggleupus on smashed children snuffleupagus steps on. He steps on. I'm guessing.
If the Muppets were real, that would mean that they like maybe having sex with each other.
Yes.
a lot.
I mean, I can certainly see a small pig tied up in a basement somewhere.
I'm thinking of Bunsen and Beaker myself.
You leave Manda and MathPig's private life out of this.
I'm more worried about walking in on Dave and Bert and Ernie. That would freak the shit out of me. Like,
Well, Dave would just be taking pictures, right?
Sure.
Actually, what about the beaker? Because I just know if the beaker is real, someone's you're gonna end up going to prison for strangling the fucking thing before long.
he's probably the one filming Bert and Ernie and Dave.
See, I was going to say Beaker as well, but for entirely different, more Breaking Bad related reasons.
Okay.
Then I want him to be.
Yeah, the beaker's the Muppet Walter White.
No, he's Jesse. I'm Walter White.
I think someone's going to start a meth trade in Northern Ireland. It's not very widespread so far.
And MathPig is silent. Don't give the secret away.
MathPig, the appropriate response is, yeah, bitches.
I'm just thinking in my head, but yeah, I can't respond to that, so I'm not going to.
You see, that's an admission.
It's an admission. It's something in the works, but it's not math.
It's spiders.
If the
breeding
Muppets,
spiders.
I know what it is. He won't say it in front of Manda. Yeah, he's going to start distributing coal. There's some great coal in Ireland.
if the Muppets are real, does that mean that, like the Sid and Marty Krofft puppet things are real too?
The what?
Sid and Marty Krofft. They had that other group of Muppet-like creatures.
No idea what you're talking about.
No idea either.
Oh,
Moving on.
Oh, never mind.
Wait,
Black Sophie says, "Am I the only one who wants to drop kick Elmo?"
No.
How much thinks that is? It's too high.
Well, what's more annoying, your Elmo impression and my Jar Jar impression? I don't know.
Let's find out.
Remember the one
Dark.
Muppet that was like the announcer? I never caught his name.
okay, Jenny. We're gonna be
Yeah.
out here all night if you name all the Muppets you remember, honey.
Well, he just
Dave, answer the fucking question and move on.
Oh, I'm terrified of
That's
Piggy.
what Lucy said.
Yes.
he reminds me of Dick Dawson.
Who does? Piggy.
I don't know. Just any of the Muppets remind me of
Any-
Dick Dawson is just fucked up now.
Apparently, Elmo needs to die.
Yeah,
I think a lot of
that's true.
parents think that.
Yes.
I
I
quite
agree
like
with
Donald.
that.
Do it again.
Dave.
What?
Dave.
I answered.
Answer the fuck.
I already
Okay, then
did.
move on.
See, she doesn't care if I actually answer. She just wants to shout at me.
She's trying to keep this show running to some sort of schedule.
Right.
What was your
Next.
answer, Dave?
Piggy.
Yeah, that's kind of That karate chop is scary, to be
It's
honest.
not the karate part. She's a psychopath.
She's
Yeah.
made of cotton. How scary can it be?
put way too much thought into this.
Right, next question.
Thank you for that, Dave. That made my
Question.
day.
Question 1102. If your partner became disabled, causing them to be unable to have sexual intercourse, would you leave them, cheat on them, or do something else?
That's so fucked, Dave.
Hang on,
He has
there's
to
two
think
bad
about
answers there. What?
This is
That is so fucked for you to ask us while we're on the panel together. That is fucked, Dave.
Manda first, I think.
Yeah.
I would just buy more toys.
That would
Cool
satisfy
with
you.
that. Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
MathPig.
I've already told Manda I lift her in and out of the bath if her legs give way to the day she dies.
Yeah, but we're not talking about her legs not working.
It wouldn't matter to me. I've done 7 years before in a relationship with no sex, so I'd say.
And then
House
God
still
says,
works.
God says, can they still do the washing up and the cooking? Sure, they can. Lone Wanderer says, sex isn't everything. Also, can they still give me oral? No.
so. It's basically it's like being in marriage. Then technically,
Well, apart from that, see, unable. The word there is unable, not unwilling.
Well, how long have I been attached to this person?
Oh,
Allegedly.
let's go with 7 years.
7-year relationship that goes dry. I think it's time for a trade-in.
I think it's time for a trade. You'd leave them.
No, it's,
Dawn Arpet says, with no sex, self-sex still counts. No, you can still pleasure yourself. Sam says, kick them to the curb. God says,
there's a lot
I
of
cheat
very
on them.
fucking vicious people here.
God
well,
says,
it'll teach you to take care of yourself.
don't get hit by a truck.
You're assuming it's their fucking fault they're disabled. For fuck's sake. Oh. And we thought season 2 couldn't get any worse than season 1, but wouldn't you know?
God says, I'd cheat on them if they can still do lady work. I just need a good-looking woman. Just go with it. Harmonica Man says, just go make some drain babies and get back to doing the chores for shit's sake. Lovely.
An omnipotent God wouldn't need a partner. They could just create orgasm within their own mind and be satisfied that way. He wouldn't actually need to do it.
We're talking about God sex
Right.
now, are we?
There we go. You see, look, Ricardo is the one where I thought the answer would go, which is open relationship / poly. And Spooky says, use them for the disabled parking badge. Rainbug says,
I did that today, in all
I'm-
honesty. I used fucking the child's grandfather's disabled badge so I could park closer because there was no other parking spaces.
You know I'm going to kick you, don't you?
I just
I was trying to
I got a simple.
Fuck off.
Well, my answers. I'd just do without.
That's okay.
God says, I don't have to wipe their bum. No, right now, the circumstances are, it's just you can't have sex with them. There's just no sex whatsoever.
I mean, for the purposes of this scenario, generally speaking, if you've been with them 7 years already, chances are you're quite attached already. So,
Well, let's define having sex. Is that
Yes,
like any
let's.
touching whatsoever, or is it
any
actual
sexual
intercourse,
touching whatsoever.
or oral or anal, or what
No,
exactly
no.
is sex?
No, and no.
What if I really like my arm being stroked? Is that?
The arm being stroked
Precisely.
would be reasonable.
Is spooning having sex? Is cuddling on the couch having sex?
You're making this difficult.
How about
Jenny,
Dutch ovening?
Jenny,
Is Dutch
Jenny.
oven sex?
Jenny.
Yeah.
No.
this question's
What?
fucked up enough, Jenny. Don't make it more complicated.
Doorknobhead says, I just drank a large fruit smoothie, and with this beard, it ends up being like sex aftermath. GeoSam says, I'd go for cigarettes and never come back. Godless Sewing says, time to get a girlfriend and a boyfriend. Crazy Catnip says, I would never leave him nor cheat on him. His ass is stuck with me till he dies. Jan says, I'm polyamorous. So that's fine. Black Sofa says, I would stay with them because sex isn't everything in a relationship. Harmonica Man says, I would go without love and love the person no matter what. Chappie says, buy a Japanese sex doll. David Melbourne says, I only stayed for 7 years because they paid the rent. I think the chat.
I thought I was like the most jaded fucking person about relationships in this fucking room. I can see today from some of this live chat today. I'm not even in the fucking top 10 in this community. I thought I was the most jaded cynic about relationships going, but listening to some of these fucking comments.
If we're answering this question with all seriousness,
yeah,
are we?
Yes.
I could not leave somebody because of that.
Very good. Nerdy.
I didn't think we were giving serious answers. It's 50-50. So yeah, I'm going to go with a non-serious answer. So I'm going to fully science this person up, and there's going to be a way to turn them into some sort of living sex toy. I mean, I'm going to engineer the shit out of this. I'm talking pulleys, levers, AI.
I've actually got to admire the Dr. Frankenstein approach here.
Oh my fuck! Oh my god!
Is that not the right answer?
It's a good answer.
Okay.
Doorknobhead says,
But
living sex toy incorporated.
It seems so wrong.
It does.
Doesn't it? Now try pressing this button.
Take them to the university, put them on an earthquake machine, and see what happens. I think we'll
This
move
one
on.
goes to 11.
Yes,
Wait.
let's move on.
You could actually work it out so that, you know, if you could get it to a point where all you got to do is stick a quarter in her, and like, you know, and anyone could enjoy her.
Mom, you got any
that's
change?
great. Wait there. So it's gone from turning her into a living sex toy to pimping her out.
Well, why not? Well, why not if you got to that? You know, I'm just saying, if you were applying science here, basically Nerdy's being the science guy, I'm being the business man here.
We're kind of
no,
making presumptions on why the person can't have sex.
It doesn't really matter.
You seem to be talking about something like paralysis or a zombie state where they're just used as a piece of flesh. Why couldn't they be perfectly
something...
lucid and capable, but just not be able to have sex?
It could be something psychological.
Sure.
All right. Just Dave, answer the question.
I've answered the question.
You run away from what Nerdy said. Okay, you answer, we run.
Sam just keeps saying goodbye. I'd stay. I'm poly, so I would come to an agreement. I don't see why you need to cheat or leave them or anything else. Right. David Melbourne says the disability is they are repulsed by you. That works.
Well,
Next
at least now
question.
you're talking about something I understand.
Nikki says there are things called sex dolls. Right. Next question. Question 1103. Would you rather give up cursing forever or give up ice cream for 10 years?
Ice cream. Fuck ice cream.
I like ice cream, but I'd have to give up ice cream.
Sorry.
I'm thinking.
You're thinking.
Speaking of which, thank you to Lone Wanderer who sent me a couple of pounds today, and I got a giant tub of mint chocolate chip ice cream for me and the child. So thank you very much for that, Lone.
You can't have it now. You just dropped an F-bomb.
Yes, you've got to eat it.
But it's such a difficult question because I really fucking like ice cream.
Yeah, I mean, I like
I
ice
remember
cream.
the last time I had ice cream.
See, since you brought that up, MathPig, I have to point out that I'm very annoyed by someone on this panel.
Oh.
Just one.
Just one. Who managed to find my fucking Patreon.
Oh, no, he told me about it.
Yeah, I didn't send her the link because you haven't announced it yet, but yes, I did happen to come across that.
I have a Patreon. Thank you, MathPig. Wow, that's completely thrown me. Nerdy.
Do you want me to post the link in the fucking chat now that you've mentioned it?
No! It's in the description, but no. Nerdy, ice cream or swearing?
I don't know. I'm like Jenny. I mean, I really like swearing and I really like ice cream. I mean, the ice cream's only 10 years, and you know, I want to do a MathPig and somehow find a workaround for it. But I don't know.
What about frozen yogurt?
Yeah, I mean, I was going that way a little bit.
Yeah.
To be honest. Yeah.
Well, that's actually an excellent question. Are frozen yogurt and say frozen custard included in that?
I'll tell you,
No, it's frozen desserts. So lolly ices don't
No, that's not the question. Okay, series 2 is going to start the way we mean to continue, and the
yes,
fucking
it's going to
question
start
is
the
what
way
we're
we go
into.
on, in which case I redefine
Yes, we
the
don't.
question halfway through.
No, that was series 1 where you changed it halfway through. Series 2, we actually stick to the question.
Yes.
What?
Wait there, let me get this right. Yandia says ice cream. David Melbourne says bye-bye ice cream. Chad says ice cream too easy. Gestra
Well,
says what happens if you curse accidentally? You get things thrown at you. Go on, Jeff.
You get ice cream.
Well, it'd probably do me good. I'd lose a bit of weight in 10 years, and all I'll just say is, even chocolate ice cream is going to taste nice after 10 years.
Well, if you take Dave's frozen products are not allowed, then Manda's technically not allowed ice anymore. If she gives up ice cream, she can't have ice in her Coke. You know, so
She can have ice in her Coke. That's not a dessert.
Okay, well, what about if I put fucking flavouring in water and freeze it? Is it now?
That's now a lolly ice.
Yeah, so it's a frozen dessert, so you can't have that.
That's not ice cream. Now we're completely off the question. Series 2 is ruined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, if it's all frozen desserts, then I'm definitely giving up swearing, because I mean everything is frozen nowadays, isn't it? I mean, half the time it's frozen before they get to the shop, and then it's defrosted, so it's like you can't eat any of that.
It's not dessert. God says, give up ice cream, you need language. Godless Granny says, I keep the ice cream.
Well, yeah. I mean, she doesn't really swear that often. So.
That's a very good point. Black says, I could live without ice cream for 10 years, but swearing is life.
Ooh.
Sarah says, give up cursing. I already don't do it, but I'm not a big ice cream fan either way.
Yeah, you could microwave the ice cream, Doorknob Head says, and I think that's a good workaround. It's not frozen dessert then anymore.
Ah, that would be acceptable.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Room temperature ice cream is still allowed and swearing.
Say again? It's got to be liquid. It's got to have gone back to a liquid.
Well, room temperature, it's fucking liquid.
Fair enough.
I don't know what room that you're in that's under 0 degrees. It's
point
Britain,
being
but it's
is
not
that
that cold.
you have ice cream in room temperature rooms, and it's still solid ice cream.
Oh, so we'll have to put a time component on it now. So room temperature ice cream after 10 minutes of being left there. Yes,
It's got
we
to have
happy with that
melted.
now?
It's got to be liquid.
Depends on how cold it was.
Yeah,
when you started.
I like ice cream, but not that much, you know.
And it would
Stuff says,
also be
go on.
dependent on the water content of the ice cream. because the water molecule gives up its heat slower than pretty
Tell
much
you
any other
what.
food. That's
I'll
why.
tell you
That's
what,
why
though.
that's why the pizza sauce is always hotter than the crust and the cheese because it has more water in it, and so it stays bitching hot while the cheese gets nice and hard. So you
I'll
bite
tell you
into it and burn the hell out of yourself.
I just realised though, if I got a swear jar going for 10 years, right, that's a lot of ice cream I'm going to be buying at the end of it.
A fucking house.
Yeah, mate, it'd be, mate, I'll be able to buy blooming Ben and Jerry's by the time, you know. I mean, the company.
I think Jen's got a workaround. Ice cream blended into milkshakes. Liquid, cold, and good. I can't argue with a milkshake.
This is so fucking complicated.
It's not my fault they made it complicated. It was meant to be a
It's
simple
not a
choice.
complicated fucking question, people.
Well, he's creating a structure of rules that we have to live by.
It's not a complicated question, but Dave is making it complicated because he likes to fuck about.
If there's rules, they're meant to be broken.
Maya says this is
Dave,
ice cream.
have you answered the question yet?
No.
Well, would you mind answering the question, please?
I would give up ice cream.
Bullshit, you would.
So it would.
Alright.
I mean, I'm not convinced I'd give up all frozen desserts, but I'd give up ice cream.
Yes, you see, you've complicated the question that much that you don't even fucking agree with it anymore.
And now you change it. When you're answering it, you can change the question. I mean, how does that work?
If you ban,
They're
if
my
you banned
questions.
Ice cream from my
Wait a minute. Your daughter just disowned you, by the way.
Why? What did she say with it? Why is she disowning me? She says, what about the lollies? Therein lies the problem. I do like ice lollies.
See?
No, I'd give up. I'd have to give up ice lollies.
She asked for ice cream the other day, and I went to the freezer and gave her a frozen lolly, and she was like, "That's not ice cream." She's 3.
Cock-flavoured lollies don't count.
What exactly does cock taste like?
Well, you know the Gwyneth Paltrow lollies. You've had those, yeah?
They have what?
The Gwyneth Paltrow lollies.
I haven't had one.
I was going to say they're a bit like that, but more salty.
And very sticky.
If you've got no frame of reference, it's fine.
Dawn Uphead says, but Dave is the devil that makes up questions. He's the devil and he can do what he wants. Apparently I'm the devil. Right. So is everyone going to give up ice cream?
Fuck yes.
No.
Fuck yeah.
No, you make me give up 10 years ice cream for 10 years of my life. I'm probably going to be dead before I ever get it again. So screw you. I'll give up swearing.
To give up swearing. Okay. Jeff?
Yeah, well, it's a bit of it's a tough one really, because I just know my mouth would never last the 10 years, so like we wouldn't last. So but it's not fair. It's not fair the fact that, you know, I'm not. Let's face it, I ain't getting any sex for 10 years and ice cream on top of that. That's really fucked up.
You better never quit smoking or you're screwed.
Don't forget about them Japanese sex dolls. Build yourself, Jeff. Build yourself.
Yeah, ain't the same, is it?
Nikki says, fuck ice cream.
That's exactly what I fucking said. Like 10 minutes ago.
I think half the panel said fuck ice cream. He's still here.
I would like to see you guys try to fuck ice cream. You'd go so damn fast and so quick.
That's room temperature 5 minutes, not 10. It's just the right softness.
5 minutes.
It's only because of the frozen effect. It's gonna cause a little shrinkage.
Donopet says you can accidentally swear, you can't accidentally eat ice cream. Harmonica Man says, can I still have a sexy woman describe ice cream to me? Does that work?
Sure.
Sure.
Dude, if I'm gonna like pay a shitload of money for phone sex, it's not going to be having someone describe fucking ice cream to me.
Just the first half of that sentence.
The documentary that I seen on phone sex lines, man, when you're ringing up, they're telling you their pussy's wet. They're actually just painting the living room and slapping the paint with a paintbrush.
Yeah.
It was fucking hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
Right. I have to try and read the next question. You cannot interrupt me.
Oh boy.
No. Okay. The next question is a hard question to read. Question 1104. If you could enlarge one thing about your body, what would you embiggen? Conversely, if you could ensmallen one thing about your body, what would you debigulate?
Penis. I don't know.
You don't
Is it
know.
me, or all these? I mean, we started off with fingering, and I don't know. I'm just sensing a theme. That's all.
Apart from the
Dave,
serious
yo.
question, there was no sex involved. It's you people that turned it dirty.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
would-
well, go on, MathPig.
I would increase my brain's capacity for retaining better facts and make it better at that. We can increase a part of my brain to make it do that.
Oh,
You would
God.
embiggen your brain. What would you debigulate?
I don't know. Things that would make my trousers be easier to buy, but I don't know. No.
Hanging with John Wild says penis bigger, gut smaller.
Yes,
He says
there you
bigger
go.
boobs,
The belly
smaller
smaller.
waist. Rainbow says,
You know,
I was thinking penis smaller, to be honest, because it's normally such a. It's, you have to move it round all the time whenever you want to walk, and it's just
Don't
so
get
annoying.
awkward.
shut up. You walked
Oh,
into a
dear.
door of a hard-on and broke your nose.
Rainbow says enlarge my brain and shrink my bald spot. And God says MathPig is cheating.
I don't know how.
If I'm going to make any part smaller, it's going to be my waistline.
What a girl.
Look, blokes can get blooming, sensitive about their size as well,
I had the laptop on the table earlier, and I had no top on because I was just getting ready, and I man to join the hangout, and I did not look very attractive at my belly at all. I was like, "Fuck me, my belly looks huge," and she just burst into stitches laughing.
It wasn't your belly she was laughing at.
Ah.
Yandia says big feet, small boobs, which Godless Sewing says I live that in real life. I'm 5'8" with size 13 shoes.
Do we get to decide how big or how small something gets?
Yes.
All right.
Well, go on, Jenny.
Smaller waist, bigger boobs.
You had to clarify that you got to pick beforehand.
Oh yeah. I would never want like triple G's or anything like that. God no.
I think you would be perfectly happy with them if you got them.
You could always work on the Deadpool principle, like when he had a really, really tiny hand and what he thought and the way where he went with that.
I haven't seen the film. I'm sorry.
It was just say at one point he had his hand was regrowing and it was the size of a baby's, and he just thought something's going to feel really, really big tonight.
God.
IQ says, be careful about that brain thing without considering cranial capacity.
I love Ryan Reynolds. I think he's just totally hot.
No, I think like smaller waist. Do you know what? I don't. Fuck it. I'm gonna have like Hellboy's fist on one arm. I think. Fuck it.
If you make it your right arm, you know what everyone's gonna think. Nerdy.
Well, that was close. I was indeed going to go something similar to Jeff, but for different reasons. I was going to make my left hand a lot bigger so that I could use it as a spatula, and I was going to make my right hand a lot smaller because I have to make something smaller.
Spatula hands was so season 1. All right, we're over that now.
You could also moonlight as a worker for Tango. Make some money in that. Nobody in America is getting that joke.
There's a blast of the past Tango adverts.
Oh man, they're fucking brilliant.
Did Manda run away?
Manda?
Hello? You did.
What?
What would you
Hi.
make bigger and what would you make smaller?
Probably smaller my ass and bigger my brain.
We're assuming.
Okay.
Now, you mean physically bigger? That would mean that the head would have to get bigger too, or
Yes.
or just more dense and
No,
prolific
like what
within
Robbie
its-
said.
Yeah,
Same
she's
idea.
stealing my answer.
Just
No, you
Stealing.
stole my answer. You just said it fucking first.
it's just seeing as you know you're probably the most intelligent person in the room already, Matt. It's you know. You want that fucking Nobel Prize,
See,
don't you?
I don't
That's what
know
it is.
whether or not brain should be allowed.
Too fucking bad. You wrote the question wrong then.
This is meant to be a
And I answered
juvenile
like fucking
question.
20 minutes ago. You're not making me fucking think of an answer now.
Yeah, no, it's best to change the question when most people have already answered. So yeah, do it now.
Yeah.
Change it.
That's when you change it.
Dave, don't change the question, or is this like you know, Hellboy Fist could be coming your direction?
Write a new
Just saying.
question. Write a new question for later on. Let the crap you've already produced stay.
Oh boy.
I was going to say, Jen says, embiggen the number of neural connections and debigulate the butt.
Sure, yeah, we'll go with that.
Right. Next question then. Question 1105. Would you rather end death due to car accidents or death due to terrorism?
Well,
Well, that's an easy question over here.
Is it?
well, I mean, I know statistically speaking, car accidents kill more people, but it's just what the other one entails, and you know, I'd have to go with terrorism on that, or like end deaths relating to terrorism, because it just leads. If we could just end that, it just leads to more bloody cycles of fucking hate and shit that follows on top of it.
But still less deaths.
You know, so if you can, if you could eliminate that, that would be a step in the right direction, I think.
We've got here. Yandiri says terrorism. Nikki says both. You can't have both. God says terrorism because it's the wrong God's fault and it's cruel. But it's more people.
It's not.
Yeah,
It's
just
not
look at
always.
the statistic in
It's not always.
2017, terrorism worldwide was responsible for 0.05% of deaths.
Right? And how much?
I was in Wisconsin today, and there's this
But-
sign that the DOT seems to own and operate, and it gives the running death toll on Wisconsin roads. I can
But then-
distinctly remember when I was a kid, this time of year or more towards the year end, that there were like 1,000, 1,100 or more people killed on the roads. The death toll to today, September 1, was 350 people. Doesn't that seem awfully small? Like it's really gone down. That's a good thing, isn't it?
It is. More people.
Yeah, I mean, I know what statistically speaking, what's the going to save more lives, but
Yes.
It's just all the fucking misery that the other one brings, and the add-ons for that, like because if you also got to think, if you end all deaths related to terrorism, you can at the same time you end all deaths relating to like the war on terrorism, which claims just as many fucking innocent lives. So
we've got a quick answer here. Never Again says, let's eliminate rage. Hanging with John Wild says, car accident would save more. Chad says, car accidents, terrorism is a label that gets thrown away. Forget the cause of those like the IRA. Also, car accidents would save more people. Richard Madsen says, death due to car accidents worldwide immensely dwarfs death by terrorism. Death by car accident is also terrifying. Terrorism will never get popular. Car deaths keep increasing.
Yeah, I mean, it's if we're looking at it just in pure numbers, though. Yeah, but it's all the other baggage that goes with the other one that I'd like to see us rid of.
But car deaths are going down. They absolutely are. Cars are significantly safer. The highway design is significantly safer.
Car deaths aren't over long term. They're not going down because there's still more cars at each point. They outweigh the safety, if that makes sense.
Well, this is like the reminds me of the old joke was it Dave Allen used to tell, wasn't it? About he looked up the statistic and saying that 10% of all road accidents are caused by drunk drivers. That means that 90% of road accidents are caused by sober people. So statistically speaking, you should get sobriety off the road.
Makes sense.
It does. Logic is flawless. Wanderer says, fuck terrorism and the religion of hate. God says, it's accident versus murder. It is. All the variables 2020 has screwed them. Ricardo says, car accidents. Chad says, car accidents kill innocents too. Brainbug says, car accidents, more lives. Chad says, the question is, would you rather have the meaningful violence or the meaningless kind? See, Jen says, I don't know if ending death by terrorism would end terrorism. I mean, ending death by
That's a good point, actually.
Ending death by car accidents is not going to prevent car accidents.
Well, that's an interesting point, actually, because I mean, you just actually remember that I was just caught. I mean, the closest I ever got to a terrorist attack, I was probably about half a mile away from it when it happened. It was the Hammersmith Bridge bombing, and nobody was killed. There's no casualties. No one was even injured in that. But the amount of anarchy that it kind of caused was just to shut down London, the entire west side of London. Well, let's just put it this way: when you're in a van, it takes you like 2 hours to go from Chiswick to Hammersmith, and that's a mile.
That's normal.
So
that's normal.
No, that's that easy. Well, no, normally it'd be an hour. It costs us an extra hour at least.
Well, I'm kind of with Chad and Richard in that terrorism being completely subjective, and us living in 2020 and having presidents like Donald Trump and things, I'm fairly sure that if I can get rid of all deaths due to terrorism and at the same time label all drivers terrorists, then I think job done.
Job done. The God says, can we choose to keep car death if the accidents kill terrorists? Then we could get rid of car accidents later.
Yeah, but before the car was invented, they had a lot of deaths by horse.
They did. And we've virtually solved that. There's only 2 or 3 of those a year now.
Well, I can understand that, yeah.
That actually happened quite recently over here. A guy with a horse and cart, and with the wind, and the horse got something hit the horse, and it panicked, and the fucking man died.
Well, it's this interesting fact on the back of it that cars were an environmental godsend, basically. That they averted an environmental disaster. Because the point at which they came into being, the point at which they were becoming, was the point at which cities were literally piling up horseshit. Just the quantity of horseshit because they had become so widespread of people using them.
Yeah.
At the time.
I don't think anyone had predicted how far it would go in the fucking opposite
but I
direction.
don't think anyone had predicted the same problem with horses. At the end of the day, it was some horses was fine, and then as population built up in those areas, the number of horses that we used massively increased as well. I think it's humans do everything to excess, and then it screws everything over.
Manda, cars hadn't been invented. You'd have been putting that great mind of yours into getting rid of the horse shit problem. That would make you feel so valued, wouldn't it?
Have you met Manda? She just sent armies of people in to deal with that.
I can give a wee inside joke, and Amanda's working on something at the minute now, and I was like, are you having fun? Wanting to talk about her work and stuff. She's like, I'm running a fucking simulation. It's just on the plants, stupid plants. It's like, oh yeah, well, what? And she's like, just the animals are sort of better. Okay, yeah. So she's up to save the animals, but not for saving the plants.
It's more you get more of an emotional connection when it's some kind of like animal or something. The plants ones can be boring at times. I'm not saying I'm not interested in saving it. Obviously, it's what I'm trying to fucking do.
Well, you definitely need to give the plants more positive reinforcement.
I think it was
animals going to.
The way I worded it was save the animals, fuck the plants, and she just went, "Yep, that's it."
Yeah.
So what are we to feed the animals then?
Themselves.
Not the point.
If it was a fucking,
not what I meant.
If it was a marijuana, I bet you'd talk to it nice if it was a marijuana plant.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Manda.
Well, I'm still going to get killed.
No, moving on.
What's your answer?
Plants. Oh, sorry.
Moving on, Dave.
Has Dave answered? I don't know.
No, but I would
Actually, has Manda? You did answer, didn't you?
Yep, I answered. Sure.
You did answer, yeah.
Plants can make compost, correct? And compost can be consumed by other plants. So, therefore, are plants cannibals?
Yes.
And
Next
in effect,
question.
meat eaters?
Next question is a horrible question.
Fingers, what?
Right.
Spatula plant.
Question 1,000.
Spatulas were season 1. This is season 2.
We need a new thing. Question 1,106. If you had to Sophie's choice your parents, which would you pick?
Oh, that's fucking easy. I have been trying to get you to ask a very similar question to this for the whole fucking time you've been doing this show, by the way.
It just occurred to me that my daughter's in the channel who needs to not answer this question.
You gotta let one die.
What?
Well, one's already dead, so...
No, you got to assume that they're both alive. You assume you're a kid if you want.
It'd
and they're both
be
alive.
the same one.
You would keep the which one would you keep?
Let's put it this way: I'd be keeping the one that actually looked after me and brought me up, and letting go of the one that fucked off and left me when I was like a year old. So,
Ilya would keep her mum, Yandia, mum. Well, Jeff, was that your mum or your dad?
It'd be my dad. Would be the one that's getting sacrificed. Let's put it that way.
Be getting sacrificed as your dad.
Yeah.
MathPig?
I'd keep me mum.
You keep your mum. Jenny?
Mum.
Nerdy? Nerdy?
Jenny.
Was that a Jenny or a Nerdy?
Jenny.
I thought.
No, it's nerdy because Jenny answered.
Jenny answered.
Sorry, me. Well, it'll be sacrificing the mother then. Yeah.
Oh, that's the only. Okay, it's the only one here with no daddy issues. That's good.
Because that's my answer. Fuck my father.
Except my mom would give herself to save my father.
Oh. Chad says, my dad. My mum would never forgive me and her life would be over if I chose my dad. Plus my dad is in better health and likely to have more years. Hanging with John Wild says, Mum. Dawn Uphead says, fathers love to die anyway. Never Again says, knowing what I know now, it's still a difficult choice which I'd save if they were alive.
And the question is also time related. At what point would I be letting Dad go, before or after the beatings?
Before? Or just after it started?
I have the feeling that this could go really dark, Dave. I just think we should move on.
Yes. Move on! I like that Jen says, who do I think she'd pick? I know who she'd pick. I'm dead.
Oh, and who is it?
I'm dead.
Poor Dave.
Does she get to pick how you die, like maybe in some like bouncy ball related accident?
No, I think she'd. I think she'd just take an axe to me to get it out of the way quick.
Take an axe to the bouncy ball first, so we can see him fall down.
No, that'd be horrific to me.
I'm just glad that poor Granny isn't in the chat tonight.
Are you? Oh, Brainbug says, can I die instead and bring my dad back? No. That's very against the rules of the question. Right. Oh, what should we have? Oh, let's go with an evil question. Right, this is the second to last question. Or the penultimate question.
Thank you. So hard.
Yes, it hurt a little.
Good.
Feels like it's come too early, though.
It feels like it's come too early. I'm trying to end for Julie. Right. Question 1107. If you had to sacrifice someone to save many lives, who would you kill?
Myself.
Sorry, Trump.
Is that really a sacrifice? Hold on. No, I'm going to ask something on this one because I know what everyone's going to say.
Granny
is
says
getting
Trump.
getting rid of him really a sacrifice? Because bear in mind, I do. You know, obviously, I come from a being an ex-pagan sort of background. The whole idea of an offering is that you're giving up something that you might want to keep.
Right. Here's the thing.
Obviously, the supreme version of that is like a human sacrifice. Would I really want to sacrifice someone who I really couldn't give a fuck about and wish he was gone anyway? It's not really giving anything up.
The original version of this question did not have sacrifice. Okay, it was just kill.
Kill.
The reason we changed sacrifice was just to make it easier so that I didn't have to justify consequence-free.
I've got a whole list then, Dave.
You've got a whole list. Because it's going to be more than one person.
And it's not even. I wouldn't even put. I think Trump might not even be on the top 10. I don't know. I want Bono and Ted Nugent fucking gone before him.
Richard Madsen said, "Jesus Christ." I find that very odd. Never Again says the orange bubblehead. Christina Rain says my ex. My stuff just
I had a little blip then.
Hanging with John Wilde says Trump. Dawn Uphead says kill the most beautiful, most perfect child ever, so everyone else feels terrible.
What the fuck?
Don't kill me, honestly. So mean.
Is Trump really a sacrifice? He's not wrong. Nathan Thompson says Nikki.
Oh wow! Again, not really a sacrifice, but I want to see. I want to see him get arrested. I want to see him go to jail first, before then. Fucking child predating fucking flurf.
Can we have a fun ritual too? The Lone Wanderer has super chatted for $5 and says, first super chat of the season. I am so proud for us getting through 7 questions. Thank you, Dave. Thank you very much. God the Good One says, Femi Oluwole. Someone read that, please. I can't even pronounce it.
I haven't got the
Oluwole?
I haven't got the chat on, Dave. So
You mean you aren't
No.
even watching the video to help my numbers up? That's terrible.
How about Boris or Nigel Farage?
Nigel would be a good sacrifice. He can go with Trump. Can you make the top 10, please? John Upphead says, "What if it's a game show and you want to sacrifice someone?" Yeah, you like that.
Good one, Brian.
I'll raise you Boris and Nigel and throw in Jeremy Clarkson on top of it.
Nikki says Nathan Thompson. Dawn Upphead says kill the pickle. Hanging with John Wild says flow from the something commercial. Geico? Godless Scummer says Lawrence Fox because I watch too much YouTube. Ilya says just off me. No. Brainbug says Jared from Subway.
Good one.
Do Muppets count as people?
No, we already established that.
I'll just say
Depends on the show.
I'll just say to the people in the chat who've made a suggestion. At least if we get rid of Nathan Thompson, at least we can actually find that nice dog of his a loving home instead of having to follow that little dickhead around everywhere.
Jen says Rees-Mogg and Hunt can go. I assume she means Jeremy Hunt.
Oh, I did a whole video responding to Jacob Rees-Mogg. Yeah, so yeah, he can fucking go.
Right, Nerdy.
Again, it's still Trump and
Still
Boris and Nigel Farage and Jacob Rees-Mogg.
You added to the list. Says Elmo must die.
I want Jeremy Clarkson, Richard Hammond, Richard Littlejohn all involved in that as well.
We're only meant to want sacrifice, but we've all got a list.
Ted Nugent, Bono.
Well, I think why don't we just generalize it more and just say lying, deceitful, manipulative bastards.
Oh, Ben Elton. Yeah, Ben Elton. He needs to
No,
fucking
you
go.
can't have Ben Elton. I like Ben Elton.
How about Russell Brand?
No,
What
you
about
can-
Ben Shapiro?
Yeah, he's on thin ice for me right now as Russell Brand. I mean, I've got to be honest. I'm a bit different from most people with Ben Elton, so I'm not angry at Ben Elton for selling out because I think he was a wanker to begin with. So
he didn't really sell out.
He was always like that.
yeah, like I said, Dave, that's what I said. That's exactly what I just said. I'm not angry at him for selling out because he was always a fucking wanker.
I vote for Alex Jones live on the air.
On his show. Absolutely.
I'll be careful because I'm probably on Manda's list for all the fucking Jar Jar impressions. So
Yeah, very much
Well,
so.
you're on
Harmonica
my
Man
list.
says Putin. What are we up to? Chappie says Sadiq Khan. Nikki says I'm
Sadiq's
disowning
alright.
Godless Scummer.
yeah,
Yeah,
they
you're screwed.
want to get rid of me.
Esther McVeigh says Jen. Making me think it's terrible. MathPig.
Well, you know that I have a list.
You do.
I do have a list, but for the purposes of this question, I will probably answer the same as Manda. So,
Amanda hasn't answered yet.
well, we all know. We know what her answer.
You might be top
Yeah.
of her list.
I probably am right now after tonight, but we'll see how it goes.
Amanda.
McConnell.
McConnell.
Yeah,
He's
that's
right
a
up
good
there.
one. That's
It
a
is.
good one.
Anyone
Dick
object to
Mitch.
McConnell? McConnell going once, twice, 3 times?
3
All right,
times.
McConnell
I'll,
sacrifice. Can you arrange it, please?
I'll see your McConnell and I'll raise you once Sarah Palin.
Oh, she's
no,
harmless.
McConnell's worse.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, Sarah Palin's basically got no power now. McConnell's still got power. He's in the way.
She still has platform, but not power.
Yes. Santi says Bono.
Oh yeah, Santi, my man, my man.
Lone Wanderer says Piers Morgan and Christian Anapol. Who's that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maya says,
Piers Morgan's an asshole, so yeah, Piers Morgan could go.
Maya says, no one alive is more evil than McConnell. And Lone Wanderer says, I'll resurrect him and kill Jimmy Savile and everyone who knew. There's a lot of people that probably knew.
Oh yeah, good. Yeah, because that means you could get to resurrect Thatcher and kill her.
You think she knew?
Well, okay. I will say maybe not so much about Savile. She certainly knew about Leon Britton though, and kept that quiet.
Jen says Katie Hopkins, please. I think she's dying a death on her own.
Yeah.
Who's Katie Hopkins?
Well,
Type in
if
Katie Hopkins like fake award, it's still fucking hilarious. Like,
yeah, she's. I don't know how.
Pick
I
someone
don't know,
in the States.
Is there an American equivalent of
Laura
Katie
Ingram?
Hopkins?
Laura Ingram? Maybe?
Oh, no, I'd say actually Katie Hopkins is like a British version of Satan, basically, but but not as nice.
Lone Wanderer says the entire cast of Love Island. Right, I made a mistake the other day, and I can't seem to fix it. I accidentally clicked a notification.
Jim.
I accidentally clicked a notification for Google Now for Love Island.
the new American one, Dave.
I have no idea, but it keeps giving me Love Island things now.
Ooh.
I am.
By the way,
happy.
I want to. I want to add Jim Davidson to the pile as well.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. It was one name. One name.
He's got a list.
Even like 30. You psychopath.
Bravebug says Ben
Manda,
Shapiro.
if you'd seen Jim Davidson, you'd fucking know why.
Harmonica Man says Jordan Peterson. Ken Ham. Santi says the entire cast of The Sopranos.
Oh, the controversial one there.
That's kind
Godless
of
Sewing says Katie Hopkins is like Ann Coulter.
Okay. That's pretty fucked.
I'm sticking with Alex Jones.
Alex Jones, fair
live
enough.
on the air.
And God says Jim Davidson is good.
What about you,
Right.
Dave?
There is no omnipotent, benevolent
right now.
God if he thinks Jim Davidson is good.
He is. God says I'm keeping most of these suggestions. I go with McConnell right now.
I
Right.
win.
Last question. Question 1108.
Dun, dun, dun,
Would you
dun, dun,
rather
dun.
turn blue at the hint of arousal, or turn
Start that
bright
again.
green
Oh,
when you
Dave,
get bored
Dave,
of
I
a
missed the first
conversation?
part of that.
Sorry.
Go back.
Question
Dave,
1000.
you sort of.
I cut out. Terrible.
Yeah.
All right. Question 1108. Would you rather turn blue at the hint of arousal, or turn bright green when you get bored of a conversation?
What
Green.
shade of blue?
What's it? Bright blue.
Well,
Colour of the
that's
flowers on your dress rather than the underlying dark blue.
Oh, so like more of an aqua.
Yes.
I'm not going to say anything about my current colour.
You're bright green.
Oh, fuck off, nerdy.
Yeah, sorry.
Or bright green when you what? When you lie?
No, when you're bored of a conversation.
When I'm bored, Jenny. When I'm bored.
Sam says blue for the win. Yandira says Yandira. I can't pronounce that. Yandira.
I don't know what
Bright
anyone's
green.
on about being bored of conversation for.
Chad says green. I tell people when I'm bored anyway.
Exactly.
Christine Lorraine says bright green, so I don't have to be mean and tell them. Harmonica Man says blue. Santi says bright green. People don't get sarcasm all the time. God says
So
I have
blue-
no shame. I'm going for blue. Some ladies might make me aware that they're in. Some ladies might make me aware they're interested.
very
Not
bright
everyone else
green.
gets it, just you. Godless Sewing says blue. Rock out with your clock out. Richard says, does that mean that rodent is bored presently? That was the point.
And if you look at Jenny, she's also very aroused.
She is. She's blue. Lone
Oh,
Wanderer says,
you turn blue if you get aroused.
Amanda looks like she's meditating right now.
Oh, I'd definitely go for the blue.
Texting angel.
Yeah,
you
you
could
just
be
look like
aroused.
you were like.
I was texting my son.
Lone
Sorry.
Wanderer says, blue. That way I won't have to drop hints. Not a Great Gamer says, when bored of conversations, I find it appropriate to just whip it out and spin it frantically like a helicopter.
Helicopter.
Who's stealing my mood?
Springbug says green. Santi says, I'll have to join the Blue Man group if I choose blue. Atheist Donna says blue. Chad Hall says, one of the best things to interrupt someone with in real life is combo breaker. No.
A combo what?
Combo breaker. It's from, well, pinball, I've seen it in. Richard says, wait a minute, MathPig is always blue.
So he's aroused.
He is.
Saying nothing.
Good head.
Manda.
That's all we can say, isn't it?
Green.
Green.
Yep.
Would you be always green?
Point out.
Probably. No. I'm kidding.
Quite a lot during this show, to be fair.
No, I just get distracted.
Would this be like just a light green if you're lying a little bit?
It's not about lying. It's about just being bored.
Yeah.
Everyone's pointed out the MathPig is like blue, and no one's pointing out Nerdy is green.
No, Nerdy. It's been pointed
Well,
out.
Nerdy pointed out
repeatedly.
that Nerdy was green.
Nerdy's green.
It was also the first thing he said.
Yes, Jeff. That's right, Jeff. I'm green.
You're getting greener. There must be something I said.
Yeah, probably.
MathPig.
Yeah, I will. The green would save me having to talk to people, but as somebody pointed out, I am already blue. So
Nerdy.
Definitely green, because then people can go, are you turning green? And I can go, yes, I'm fucking bored. Now piss off.
Jeff.
I would much sooner be able to tell people to fuck off and leave me alone because I'm bored of you, than let anyone know that I'm interested in them. So,
How many people do you have randomly trying to talk to you on your rounds?
Too many.
You have to be polite.
so that's a hint. Don't talk to the postman, right?
Jenny.
Well, it's okay to talk to
say
the
hello
postman,
to
just
the postman.
don't let him have any sharp objects.
So if I've got my fucking earphones in and listening to music, there's a good chance I don't want to stand around and talk about the weather.
Do you wear proper headphones or do you put in-ear headphones?
In here.
Royal
It
Mail
would be better if
headphone.
you wore big ones that they can see. Jenny.
What?
Red or green or blue?
Blue.
Blue. Arousal. Very good.
Absolutely.
Right. We're done. We survived.
If I was jaundice, would that like neutralize the blue?
Wait,
No.
Dave.
What?
La
I'd have to
questione
go with. I'd have to
ultima.
go with green, or I'd constantly be blue.
See, this is why I call you. Never mind.
I'll send you the link for the floaty head, Dave.
So basically you'd be a fucking Smurf
Yes.
if.
I'd have to. Although at least then I could probably pass it off as something else.
I'd say Dave would look more like the people from the Blue Dabba Dee Dabba Da video.
There you go. There we go. Everyone in the chat, hashtag Dave Horny Smurf.
Ilya says blue. I want to says, what if you turn blue when assassinating a terrorist who's driving a car while eating ice cream? I think
Are they a blue terrorist?
no. It doesn't say
I'd
what
be
colour the
swearing
terrorist
at them
is.
for eating ice cream.
Right, we need to go. Because Manda's about to start. Manda's about to start? Manda's about to start. Julie's about to start.
Manda's on at 1 o'clock. Manda's on in 2 hours.
With the link in
Granny
quick.
stream. Oh, for fuck's sake! Right, hold on.
I'm gonna say
I
goodbye.
have to take a nap. I have to take a nap. I've been up since 2 a.m.
I'm gonna say thank you to Jeff, to Manda, to Jenny. I've forgotten the name of Nerdy. To Nerdy. To MathPig.
Thanks.
Do not forget MathPig's stream on Thursday.
Yes, trans rights on Thursday. We have people from all over the spectrum and transitioning and stuff. So it should definitely be a great conversation. It really should.
Thank you everyone for coming. We will see you again on Friday. Good night. Bye.
Good night.